today, and there are 4 participants from different countries, and they are going to make presentations to us. And we are beginning with USA, and Dr. Ferhat Öztürk is going to give us a presentation about community engagement activities. Before beginning, I want to inform you shortly about Mr. Öztürk. He is the events coordinator of Raindrop Foundation San Antonio since 2019, and he received his Ph.D. in cellular and molecular biology from the University of Nevada, Reno in 2007, and studied at the University of Nebraska Medical Center as a postdoctoral researcher. He served as founding chair of the Molecular Biology and Genetics Department of Canik Başar University in Samsun, Turkey. And following the July 15th coup attempt, Dr. Öztürk was among the persecuted academicians. Thus, he left Turkey and resettled in the USA in 2016. And now, as a long-term human rights activist, Dr. Öztürk serves at various committees of the Advocates of Silence Turkey, and he is the spokesperson of Scholars' Rights Watch, which focuses on raising awareness about the persecuted academicians. Now, it's your turn, Dr. Öztürk. If you are ready, you can start.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It is my honor and privilege to be your guest today for the Broken Chalk. So I admire your activities that you are doing in the Europe and then all over the world. And thank you for this Diversity Day in the whole world. So as you have mentioned, I'm the event coordinator for the Raindrop Foundation San Antonio. Actually, Raindrop Foundation is, I should better share my screen first. So, okay. So Raindrop Foundation was established in San Antonio in 2017, and then it was established by the Muslim Turkish Americans affiliated with the Hizmet movement. I'm sorry, this one should not be running. Hold on. Okay, I'll just continue this way because I couldn't cancel the. Okay, so it was founded by Muslim Turkish Americans affiliated with the Hizmet movement. So we share a unique heritage of acceptance and understanding across citizens in cultural and religious lines, and as well as integrating these citizens into the United States and American society by addressing educational, social, religious, and cultural needs. So, and also as a Raindrop Foundation, we serve the greater San Antonio community through different events and programs that bring together different walks of life to promote cross-cultural friendships and also interfaith understanding and mutual respect and dialogue, as well as we build bridges between diverse groups of San Antonio. So these are all different activities that we have been doing since 2005. And then, but the name Raindrop Foundation San Antonio was finalized in 2017 as an 501c charitable organization. So for the purpose of grassroots activities and to engage, to improve the community engagement activities, so we do various events. Among them, we have our signature event of the year is annual dialogue and friendship dinners. So every year we bring different people from different walks of life into the on a dining table all together. And every year we have more than 120 guests from universities, from the elected officials, and as well as from musicians to the religious clergy, and from students to the teachers. So we have all different walks of life gather around the tables that we share our dialogue and friendship. And then these are the photos from the last year. I mean, because of the COVID, we couldn't do it this year. So hopefully we'll get back to this one starting in 2022. This year, 21. So in addition, we also have Dream Week events. So Dream Week is a week of events that is organized in San Antonio, Texas. And the name comes from the Martin Luther King's poem, I Have a Dream. So we are trying to revive his dream, or realize his dream as bringing different walks of life of the people get together. And then we have events for more than a week to promote the diversity and mutual respect and also acceptance of each other in the city of San Antonio. And city of San Antonio has the longest march of the walking march of the Martin Luther King in the world. So thousands of people joined the march to commemorate Martin Luther King and his dream. And also we have Turkish cooking classes and international cooking classes at our Raindrop Foundation. And again, we gave a pause for this one during the COVID pandemic, but we will restart them preferably this summer back again. And in these cooking classes, especially the ladies, they get together from different countries. So every month we invited different cuisine, like once we have the Panama cuisine, the one we have the Japanese cuisine, and another gathering we have Belarus cuisine or the United States or Turkish cuisine. So every time we have different cuisine, and then the people just prepare the food there and eat the food there. And also they do parties like the Mad Hatter Tea Party. So they made their own hats, handmade hats, and they did this as a competition. And this was also covered in the local media. So you can see different like hats there. And this is the Mad Hatter Tea Party. And then we also organize every year the Turkish Festival. So in the Turkish Festival, which is being realized in the Alamo Castle, which is the oldest building in the United States. It's more than 300 years old. I mean, one of the oldest buildings. So because where the Alamo battle was happened, and we do our Turkish Festival there, and hundreds of people join every year to taste the Turkish baklava and as well as dance with the Turkish music. So this is to promote the Turkish culture in San Antonio. And we also share Nos Pudding, which is also called Ashure. So we share our Nos Pudding with our neighbors, friends, or colleagues at workplace, and as well as our students. They share the Nos Pudding at their universities. And as you can see in this photo, our friend Lutfi is he shared the Ashure, the Nos Pudding, at the Trinity University. And we also do some kind of exhibitions of the Turkish art and culture as well. So these are some of the artifacts, the art from the Noah's Pudding and as well as other events. Another major event that we do is interfaith dialogue gatherings. So this is to bring people, especially the Abrahamic religions, Jews, Christians, and Muslims together. And then we just meet with each other. So sit around the same table and we have icebreaker questions. So the year before, I mean, 2020, we watched the movie, The Saint and the Sultan. So which is about Saladin Ayyubi and the Saint Francis Assisi. So they, this thing was happened about 1,000 years ago, but we just went through that movie and we watched the movie together, and then we discussed about that movie and as well as our common values, how we can live together peacefully in different conditions. So this was a very interesting and very fruitful gathering for us. We made a lot of good friends after these interfaith dialogue gatherings. And during the pandemic time, since we could not gather physically, but we continued to gather online in the Zoom. So the first event that we had was Sharing Faith series. So, and then our theme was the pilgrimage. So we listened from different speakers, from Rabbi Benjamin Richards about Judaism, and from Buddhism about Olivia Carnin, and then about Hinduism from Dr. Rajam, and also for Catholicism, Mr. Daniel. And then we also have our Fulya Sheker. She talked about the Islamic pilgrimage. So they all shared what the pilgrimage in different religions, and then what are the experiences they have through the pilgrimage. Another event that we continued throughout the pandemic was Meet the Author series. So we have virtual event series. So we choose a book author every month, and then each month we just invited the author to our event, and then we discuss about the book. For this one, we read the whole book, which was a children's book about Fauja Singh Keeps Going. So this book is about an athlete who is more than 100 years old. Oh, sorry, he was more than 90 years old, and he finished a marathon after that age. And he's a Sikh person. And then this was a great opportunity for us to learn about the values and the endurance of the Sikh people after they move to the United States. And we learned a lot, and also we enjoyed being together with our friends. Another one is The Humanity of Muhammad, peace be upon him. Dr. Craig Constantine of the Rice University, he was our guest as the author. And then we talk about the motivation that he wrote this book. As you may know, Dr. Craig Constantine is a Christian. So, and then he's an American Catholic, and he wrote this book about to understand the humanity of Muhammad in terms of anti-racism and nation building and the women's role in the society. So he wrote all of these things, and we wanted to share it with our community. And it was live on YouTube, and we had like dozens of people watch this one since it was published. Another one was Dr. Hafsa Girdap. I mean, she's almost being a doctor. So she wrote the book, The Baby in the Bag. This is about the stories that people who persecuted from Turkey, and the actual baby in the bag was when a newborn baby was carried out through the border in a duffel bag, and then without being caught by the border patrol. So, and then there are 4 riveting stories in this book, and then we went through this book and to learn more about the motivation about the book, and as well as the real stories. And to be honest, I personally finished this book in one night, although it is like almost 150 pages. So it was a very riveting stories and a very captivating book, and we really enjoyed having Dr. Hafsa Girdap in our meeting. In addition to this one, we have some other signature events, which is the Colors of San Antonio. So for the Colors of San Antonio, we bring people, as the name indicates, we go through different colors though, and also different cultures of San Antonio. San Antonio is a city of immigrants. So the population of San Antonio is more than 1 million. And then we have people from Mexico, we have people from African Americans, we have white people, we have people from Vietnam, we have people from Middle East, from Africa. So all these different colors gathered in San Antonio, and they live in a very peaceful and harmonical way. So as part of the Raindrop Foundation, we bring these people together in the Raindrop Center, at our cultural center, and then every month we host a different country. So in this photo, you can see, I think this is the China, when they represented the Chinese culture and food and tourism and religious beliefs, all those things. So we had Panama, we had Taiwan, we had Ukraine, Argentina, all different, more than 40 different countries we invited to our events at the Culture Center, and every month we learned about them. This is an event going for more than 4 years. And during the pandemic time, again, we couldn't use our facility, but we did it online. So we chose the theme, Pursuit of Happiness during COVID-19 among the Latinos of San Antonio. So we had speakers from Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and Venezuela, and Mexico, and they talk about how their culture helped them to overcome the difficulties of the COVID-19 pandemic when the people were staying at their home. And then again, this was a Dream Week event. As I mentioned earlier, this is during the month of January when we revived the dream of Martin Luther King. In addition, we also made some different events to give voice for the voiceless or silenced people in Turkey. So we invited Abdülhamit Bilici, the exiled Turkish journalist, and also Dr. Leda Burnett, the chair of the political science department in San Antonio. So they gave a talk about freedom of press. And at that time, even in the United States, because this was before the elections, and the press was under some pressure or oppression from the previous presidency or the administration. So this was a great opportunity for us. What could happen if you don't keep the press free? And then Mr. Bilici shared his experiences when the Zaman newspaper was raided by the police, and he was forced out of the building, and all those things were shown there, and it was a very moving experience for all of us. And we also shared holiday cards with our friends. We don't forget them during the pandemic time. So we shared for the happy holidays and happy Thanksgiving cards. We sent them through email and as well as through different social media, and then to celebrate the holidays together. And another event that we have from every year is the book clubs. So we have the Dialog book club with the Source of Light Center, the Soul Center, and we used to gather in the Turkish Cultural Center. As you see, more than 20 ladies, most of the time ladies, but also they're open for men. So we read the book and we talk about the book all together and what are the impressions that we had from the book. And now we had the virtual book clubs. We went through the White Fragility and then The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the House. So there are two different books. We went through them and we discussed them last summer and in fall. And now we're gonna go through the Think Again, Adam Grant's book. So this will be starting this weekend on Sunday. And we didn't forget about our medical personnel, the frontline workers. So what we did was we prepared food for them by the motto, not all heroes wear capes. So we provided baklava, doner, rice, and salad. And we provided to the hospitals every week for 5 weeks to the nurses and doctors that more than every week we provided more than 60 or 50 containers of food to them. And these are some photos that when we delivered to the food to the hospitals. So the nurses, the personnel enjoyed the food, and we also brought to different places. In addition, we also made collaborations with the local organizations, which is the food bank. So to the San Antonio Food Bank, we made donations of about $5,000 this year. So we opened a donation in our website, and we promoted our members, the Raindrop Foundation members, to make donations to the San Antonio Food Bank. We also volunteered in person, especially our youth. They went to the fields and they collected vegetables and fruits from the field, which will be served to the needy people of San Antonio. And also during the month of Ramadan, which is the time for giving for us. So we every year we did the Ramadan food and fund drive. Again, this is for the San Antonio Food Bank. We collected money and food during the month of Ramadan, and we delivered them to the food bank. In addition, we have a youth health education team. What they do is every year, this year actually it was better established. So we had a women's health during COVID-19 pandemic panel at the United Nations Convention. So normally our youth was going to New York to the United Nations building, but this year we made it online, and we had a very good turnout for the Commission on the Status of Women panel. And also our youth, they volunteered for the vaccination clinic in San Antonio. So our Dr. Mevri Budak at the center and her team, they volunteered for the people who came for vaccination, and they registered their names and then fill out the forms. And Dr. Budak give the vaccinations to the people. And these are the vaccination site photo. Also, we didn't forget about the importance of blood drive. So as Raindrop Foundation, we organized 2 blood drives, one in December and another one is this Sunday upcoming. So we are asking for blood donations from our members through social media, from our followers. And then each time we had, in the first one, we had 40 signups. And then this time we had more than almost 30 signups as of today. And hopefully we'll get to 40 again. So because during the pandemic time, the need for the blood has been a 911 issue. It is emergency. So as Raindrop Foundation, we contributed to our community with our blood as well. And these are the photos from the blood drives. Our members are donating blood. And also we had a snow collapse this year in whole Texas. We had a very severe snow, and then we lost the power for several days. And then the homeless people, they were out of, they didn't have a place to stay. So in one day, actually with just one message, we collected more than four or five boxes of clothes and shoes and jackets from our members. And then we donated them to the homeless people in San Antonio. And we also have several Ramadan events. As you can see here, this is from last year, not this Ramadan. But this Ramadan, we had the Eid celebration, the Bayram celebration. And then we gathered, more than 100 families gathered at our Raindrop Foundation to celebrate. So that's all it's a summary that we have done. I try to keep my things short to be on time. And if you want, we also have Raindrop Ensemble, which we have a music group from different like faith backgrounds, like Christian, Jews, and Hindus and Muslims. We all get together and then we play music to spread the word of diversity through the music.
Thank
If
you
you
so
have time, I can share a short video. If not,
Thank you so much, Mr. Öztürk. You are setting great examples for the people as your San Antonio Raindrop Foundation. And these are really inspiring for everyone, I think. And we can share your videos now. And you have a limited time. You are working now, right?
yes, I'm at work right now. So I'm teaching at School of Science and Technology. Yeah, I'm a teacher in the high school and also trying to run all these events.
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes and we can share it now.
Oh, actually, that's not that video. The video was summarizing. This one is about the Raindrop Ensemble. I'll just cut it short. So again, this is our ensemble, music ensemble that they play music for so many events, and they were invited to major events in San Antonio as well.
Yeah, okay.
1 second, I'll share.
And I want to remind to our attendees that if you want to ask question, you can write in chat and to.
And I'll be happy to share my presentation and other things. So these are different examples of the Raindrop Ensemble. Again, this is a long one on the YouTube. I just wanted to give a brief info what they do. And it was interesting to learn that some of the songs that we have in Turkish culture, it has been sung in 9 different languages. Like, for example, Kara Tren Gecikir, it's in 7 different languages. Or the one that we played, the halay, it was 9 different languages. So it was very interesting to see all these differences through the Raindrop Ensemble. And they can sing all different languages as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. It was a great honor for us to be with you and to hear and to listen the activities that you have done. And I'm checking now for the questions in YouTube too. And would you like to add something? We don't have questions now. Would you like to add something?
No, thank you so much again. Thank you for the opportunity. I really enjoyed to be your guest today.
It was the same for us too. And now we continue with Albania, and Dr. Isa Erbas is going to give a presentation to us about the significant role of youth in advancing intercultural dialogue in society. I want to inform you about Dr. Erbas. He's a lecturer at the Department of Education and English Language, Bedr University, Tirana, Albania. He is also an administrator of the Turgut Ozal High School, Tirana, and Dr. Erbas has worked in different educational institutions since 1999. And welcome to our program, Dr. Erbas. We can't hear you now.
So, good evening.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome to our program.
Good evening, good afternoon. Okay, we are in different time periods. So, warm greetings from Albania. Firstly, I would like to thank the Broken Chalk Foundation for organizing such an important conference about culture and dialogue, which people are in need. Consciously or unconsciously, we are practicing this either face-to-face or through technology. So I am very pleased to be with you today and happy to talk about the topic or the significance role of youth in advancing intercultural dialogue in society. Actually, at the moment, we are doing this one.
It's an honor for us to Mr. Erbas. And if you are ready, you can start. We are listening to you.
Okay, thank you. So this study or this work explains and defines the intercultural dialogue. So I have taken here different authors, scholars' opinions. So we are going to see also the opinions or thoughts are spotted by the Turgut Ozal High School students and staff. So the study finds answers to the following questions. What is a dialogue? How is it defined? What is the goal in dialogue? What are the conditions, positive effects in dialogue? How can youth enhance their relations through dialogues? And which means should be used to develop dialogue further? So dialogue is important as humans are in constant communication with one another. The world currently witnesses violent conflicts on a daily basis. How we respond to conflict and views in communication as an infinitely important matter for human coexistence. In the 21st century, dialogue is a term frequently employed by politicians, organizations, and others. Over the last 20-25 years, the focus of numerous scholars and practitioners have turned to the topic of dialogue. The people from different cultures come together, not to impose their thoughts on each other, not to deceive each other. They exchange their ideas and they try to find solution to the problems that they face. So dialogue is defined. I have taken these from dictionaries. Now we are going to see how they are defined and how they are in actual, or how the scholars define. Formal talks between opposing countries, political groups, etc. A discussion between two or more people or groups, especially one directed towards exploration of a particular subject or resolution of a problem. Dialogue is communication or discussion between people or groups of people, such as governments or political parties. According to scholars, dialogue is focused conversation, engaged in intentionally with the goal of increasing understanding, addressing problems, and questions, thoughts, or actions. It engages the heart as well as the mind. The goal of dialogue is to understand the other. Dialogue thus requires a degree of openness to others and oneself. Openness includes allowing emotions along with the reflections, stories, and faith, thus making space for the whole person. Dialogue builds trust. With the trust, we expand our circles of communication. Society is dependent on trust, and trust is often low in conflict areas. Sharing in dialogue depends on a level of trust and access. Dialogue has contributed to peace building, to calm down conflicts. Through dialogue, the person becomes visible, not just as a representative of the enemy, but as a human, a mother, a daughter, teacher, etc. Authority lies in the relation, not in the position. Having a relation with a local can in turn build trust. Professor John Paul stated that peace building requires relationships. In order to have a sustainable peace building, we should understand the social context by building a network connected to strategic positions that carry the network through developing relationships with people who are situated differently in the social context. We should construct the work where people are present, where people are situated, as that is the core interconnecting the network. We should be flexible and smart, respond and adapt to the changing environment and take advantage of it. Intercultural dialogue is broadly recognized for its instrumental role in peace building. The Turgut High School students and staff, now I am going to talk and I am going to show what the school and the students and the staff is doing. So today, educational systems are particularly interested in empowering dialogue. Educators are interested in the ways in which the cultural beliefs of education may be implemented in the interaction with the children, both in assuring the reproduction of education and in managing conflicts with them and between them. As we already know, that dialogue is a reflection. It is a deed, love, not a speech or theory. Dialogue, we already know, dialogue engages the heart as well as in the mind. Dialogue thus requires a degree of openness to others and oneself. Dialogue builds trust. With the trust, we expand our circles of communication. Dialogue creates safety when one is listened to, as well as it builds awareness. Dialogue contributes to peace building. The school has clubs such as awareness and charity clubs. The aims of these clubs are to organize seminars, activities, food fair, etc., in order to help increase dialogues in society. The poet Yunus Emre said, "We love the creatures due to the creator." For this reason, we assume and we think dialogue is very important in order to love the people, in order to love the surroundings. The students who have comfortable life, they have comfortable life. They do not know others who are in need of support, love, interaction, health, etc. So we can develop dialogue through education. At one school, you can see different students. Also, our school have different students. So they are from different nations. So for this reason, educators play important role. So our teachers and club advisors teach their students to put into practice what they learned during the lessons and the club hours. So our students win the hearts of people, children, and society by their warmness, kindness, and love. So we can see here, so the student visit the old people in the nursing or care home. They treat them with gifts, food, and they spend time with them. And they learn many things from the old people, from their experience. And also they feel, well, their life is not as they see or as they consider. This is one sample or some pictures. And this one is the students and staff visit the orphanage charity home. So meet the students, give them gifts and give them their love and give them their experience, and they make them happy. They make the children, satisfied at least one day. So the students never forget what they do in their school years. Then, so our students and staff also visit the people who lost their homes during the earthquake. They contribute or distribute them what they collected through the food fair and also through the other activities. So I remember when the students and staff came back from this event, well, I saw their emotions, their feelings. So they really get happy when they help others, when they share others' feelings, others' sadness, or others' happiness. So there is another example here. So there are the people living around the school, near the school. So we have invited, as a school, invited them to have dinner together. Well, they just talked, the staff talked with them, we talked with them. So also we know the people, we know they don't need anything, they don't need to have dinner, but when they come, we just know each other, we trust each other, so we just strengthen our relations with the neighborhood people. So there is another example here. So our students, they were selected by the European Committee as a representative of Albania in European Union Youth this year. Your Europe, USA 2021, that is called. The European Union Committee is interested in hearing students' fresh ideas on how to deal with the current climate crisis and how to get closer to meeting the 2050 climate neutral goals. So there were more than 200 students took part in the conference from 28 EU countries and 5 from other countries. They had chance to meet the students. They exchanged their opinions and shared their experiences, and they made their voice heard. So hearing and listening to different students' opinions, they improved their knowledge of different cultures. So this is also unfortunate because of the COVID-19. Students didn't have opportunity to see the students from different nations, to talk with them, to share their experiences, but at least they had this opportunity to talk through their virtual platform. So as a conclusion, I can say through these activities, visits, and dialogues, the students develop their dialogue, responsibilities, relations with different people, ignoring their colors, positions, genders, social status. By these activities, the youth, we say today's teenagers, tomorrow's adults, learn tolerance towards each other. They learn how to help, how to love each other. So they are building bridges in the society. They reach compromising, understanding each other, knowing each other, loving each other, only through dialogues with people. The dialogues teach the young generations that they should accept those thoughts and ideas who do not think like them. Well, this is very important for the new generations. Through dialogues, the youth get rid of such an idea that they are above others. They accept people on their own version of reality. Our students are having good relations with each other without any problems, even though they are from different religions, from different groups, and from different cultures. So I would like to thank you for listening, watching. So if you have any questions,
Thank you so much, Mr. Erbas. I really appreciate your activities, especially with the students. And normally I would ask you about the feelings of students. What would they feel when they have joined to these activities? But you answered and you gave an example about it. And I want to take attention to a point, especially in your presentation. You said that the people from different cultures come together not to impose their thoughts on each other or not to deceive each other, to exchange their ideas about and to find solution to the problems they face. And I find this really important and remarkable because in the period of pandemic, people from different nationalities, different nationalities and scientists from different nationalities and representatives of different religions come together to find a solution to pandemic problems, COVID, and they don't fight against each other or they don't impose their ideas each other. They are trying to do something for the future of humankind, and I think it's remarkable. Thank you very much. I am checking now. I'm checking now the YouTube for the questions. Would you like to add something, Mr. Erbas?
So thank you. Just I guess the other speakers do not have much time. So if they have the audiences or listeners have questions, they may just write, or we can just answer them through mails.
Thank you so much for joining. It was nice for us to listen and to hear the activities of you. And now we are with Norway, and from Norway, Mr. Kerim Kara is going to give us a presentation about the celebration of diversity. And Mr. Kara worked as a language teacher in international school in Vietnam for 8 years, and he has been living in Norway since 2017. And he is the project manager of Language and Cultural Association in Trondheim. And he is working as a coordinator at Church Dialogue Center in Norway now. Yes, Mr. Kara, we are listening to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity as well. And thanks to the earlier speakers for their presentations. And as you introduced me, my name is Kirim Kara, and I've been here in Norway for 4 years, and now I am the leader for Språk og Kultur, as we say, Language and Culture Association in Trondheim. We have several projects here since 2018, and one of them is Culture Podcast, where we invite our people in our network. So then we ask questions and get to know them and ask their ideas about our festival and the association. And then we have our culture evenings, where we invite countries to represent their culture in that evening by playing songs and dancing, and as well as making food and selling them. But our biggest organization, biggest activity is festival, which we call Culture and Language and Culture Festival. And today I will be talking about that. I have a 2 minutes video in the beginning. I don't know if I'm allowed to show it, so that people will have understanding of the of my speech afterwards. So here, please enjoy the video for 2 minutes, then we're going to talk about the festival.
Okay.
Yeah, well, basically it was the short video about our festival before the pandemic. Last year we had another different type of festival, but we don't call it the Language and Culture Festival. I would like to give a bit short information about the Språk og Kultur Festival in Norwegian and the Language and Culture Festival in English. It is active since 2006. It was active in Oslo, and it was active for about 10, 12 years and still active there. But we had our debut in Trondheim in 2018. So it is almost 3 years, 4 years festival here. And it is a non-profit organization. Everyone who is engaged with the festival, and no one gets anything like economic benefit. But the festival is financially supported by the municipality, and the opening speech made by the mayor in 2019. But it is also a platform for intercultural dialogue. In these 3 years, we realized that the festival now is seen as the representative organization for the foreign organizations in the province. So this festival is in Trondheim. It's a city with 200,000 population, but this festival represents the organizations in the province, which is a bit bigger than that. Just want to give a bit statistics about the festival in 2019. So we had 60 countries joined to the festival in this 200,000 city. And the festival had 6 hours stage performance that was non-stop. We had more than 200 performers from different countries, and we had 25 cultural exhibitions where people represented their cultures in those tents. We also had 10 workshop classes where, for example, Japanese made origami with the kids, and Turkish people had this Ebru coloring in water activity. And we also had a big playground so that the parents and the families could have good time with their while their kids are playing in the playground. We also had 7 food stands where the visitors could taste the foods from 7 different countries. And in total, we had almost 5,000 attendees to the festival. But what is that we aiming for, and why everyone is volunteering this organization and trying to make this happen? We would like to gather people from different nations or different countries, cultures, religions who are living in this Trøndelag province. So that when we gather the people, we want to create a meeting place and help them create their own network. Because in Norway, this Scandinavian culture is a bit different than the other other part of the Europe. People could be more kind of like they have their distance to the other people. And that makes other groups to be ghetto organizations easily. So we try to create this meeting place so that people get to know each other. And we also would like to provide facilities to them to present their cultural values. We look everyone as a resource so that we want to see this resource is in action. And when everyone is together in one place, so 60 nations living in 200,000 population in a city with 200,000 population, so then we, in that way, contribute to the social cohesion. We also work together with different countries to make this festival happen. In our management team, we had 7-8 different nations who were organizing together with us. And when we contribute to the social cohesion, then we help stopping this xenophobia, which is like people are afraid from what they don't know. So there are a lot of different nations coming. Like we cannot compare Norway with the United States or Germany or other countries, because the foreign organizations here are much more like ghetto-like organizations. They find it difficult to get into the society. And When you are not in this society, when you're not showing your values, cultures, then it is easy to create xenophobia for those you don't know. And another aim, another goal that we have, we want to expand the dialogue to the grassroots in the society. Like when we say intercultural or interreligious dialogue, then we don't mean the religions are having dialogue or the cultures are having dialogue, but people from different cultures and from people from different religions, they're coming together, they accept themselves as they accept the others as they are, so then they have a natural dialogue in that way. And this must be expanded as much we have to expand it as much as we can. And in this festival, we try to make this happen. And as I just mentioned that by having a very diverse management team, we want to take the dialogue one step forward, because we open our doors, anyone who wants to contribute, so that we have everyone's opinion to make a better festival. Because we also believe, as I said, like every culture, every nation, they are a resource. You know, we have to learn from them. When you open your doors to other ideas, other perspectives, then you see the outcome, like your festival and what you're doing is being much more colorful. But we also try to challenge the ghetto-like groups to take action and to be a part of the society. As I said, it's like very easy to get lost in Scandinavian culture, I guess. Like it's not easy to get into the society, so you have to try. But it is easy to just go away. So like many groups are choosing that, but we don't want it. And we try to get in touch with them, challenge them to be part of the festival. And we want to create sincere and natural dialogue. By sincere, I mean like we accept everyone as they are. As other speakers said, we do not intend to impose any ideas. We do not intend to impose any culture to the other, but we meet in this same level and we open our doors to everyone so everyone can show their culture. So, and by natural dialogue, I mean we even though it's a one-day festival, but we come together many times in a year. We have our activities together so that we become friends in that way. And it's open doors for a natural dialogue. When you include people, regardless their ethnicity or religion or culture. But of course, it's not easy. It takes time. And that's why we are here. And we are trying to make it happen so that our children, maybe next generation, could have this pure natural dialogue. But when people just, it takes time. They see you, they engage with you, they come together, they eat food with you, you know, play with you. Then they come to a point where they think they accept you. And we want to also help everyone for having mutual understanding and respect by making culture known to another. We have very good stories about that. Example, one friend come to me and I said, like, what do you think of the festival? Then he started to tell, like, you know, I have to say that I was very negative to the Afghan people. I was thinking they were living in a cave, and respect to the Afghan people, of course, but this is what I heard from him. Then he said, when I met the people in the festival and when I saw the beautiful culture, when I tasted their food, you know, I just broke that my prejudice ideas. And by that, we say like that this is a Norwegian, sorry, that's not Norwegian, that's from Andre Lorde. And it says, it's not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. And personally, I think this diversity is intended by the creator, which he wants us to be, you know, come together and get to know each other. So that's why we think it is our inability to recognize and accept and celebrate those differences. So here, what we try to do is to celebrate the diversity that we are having in this city. And it was all from me. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kara. It was nice to hear you. And we have a question in YouTube, and I want to ask it to you from Christina Ekşioğlu. From what I have read, the Nordic countries are normally open to communication, dialogue, and multiculturalism, but there are also voices that say that they are not really so open to collaboration. And in other words, how often do you organize multicultural activities, and are there a large number of participants, or possibly differ depending on the area or cultural influences in neighboring countries?
Well, respect to the Scandinavian culture, maybe I wrongly mentioned something, but what I meant is that Norwegian people are very kind and open, in a way, very nice people. But they have a joke in this pandemic, under this pandemic, you know, they say, like, now 2 meter distance rule is now done. Now we can get back to our 5 meter distance back.
Yeah.
So this is just like simple. People are living very individually here. Like, even though I've never experienced racism here, but you know, the way that they're living, they like to live individual. So they always have this distance, but this is not like intended distance, but it is like how the culture is made here. And that's why we are being supported by the municipality very much, financially and in other ways as well. So we were having this festival just once a year because I'm working voluntarily and I'm working in other organizations. So it makes it a bit difficult to, you know, spend your time for everything. But then we decided this year to have this cultural, we call it kulturkvelds, which means culture evenings. So where we will invite, we have been funded for that as well from the municipality, which means they support us. They like the idea coming together. So we will invite, example, Ukraine, Thailand, Vietnam, for these 60 nations, like once in 2 weeks, to open their doors to the society, and it will be free entrance, where we will have a chance to drink Vietnamese coffee, and we're going to see there some arts, like some other things, and hopefully we'll have more activities in the future. It's still a baby organization in some way.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kara. I wish you good luck in your organization, in the future organizations. And now we are going with Romania, and Mr. Mustafa OZ is going to give us a presentation about multiculturalism in Romania. And Mustafa OZ has been working in Romania since 2000, and during this period, he worked as a teacher and school manager 16 years at Lumina educational institutions operating in Romania. Since September 2020, he has been working as the manager of Association for Dialogue and Universal Values President. Welcome, Mr. OZ.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and pleasure for me to be with you in this evening. I really thank you for inviting me to be part of this beautiful event. And also I want to thank you for a very nice introduction and moderating this conversation. Yes, I want to talk about today the cultural diversity in Romania and its good practices here. I want to show you some very interesting good practices in Romania. So I want to share my screen first. Okay. Yes. In Romania, there are many different nationalities, different ethnic groups, social groups who are living in peace for many years. And I want to mention a little bit the history of Romania in terms of cultural diversity. And then I would like to talk to you about some rights of the minority groups in Romania. So Romania became as an independent country in 1859 after leaving the Ottoman Empire. And during after this period, the king of Romania, Carol I, he was a man of dialogue and understanding, peace between religions. as a king, Carol I built a mosque for the Muslim community. And at that period, before that period, the Christians started to build another church, but they couldn't finish it on time. And the Ottomans helped the Christians to complete their construction and contribute to the understanding between the religions and the different cultures. So as an ethnic percentage of the country now, it is 89% Romanians and around 6.6% Hungarians, 2.5% Romanis, and the other ethnic groups, Turks, Tatars, Serbians, Greeks, Macedonians, and so on. They all live in peace in Romania because Romania is the only country in Europe that give the right for the minority group to have their own deputy in the Romanian parliament. So Turkish community has their own deputy in the parliament. The Greek community has their own deputy in the Romanian parliament. And Russians have their own representative in the Romanian parliament. So this is a unique situation in Europe, maybe also in the world, that the ethnic minorities have their representatives in the legislative forums, which is the parliament. So as our institutions in Romania, here we have schools and different other institutions. Together with them, together with the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Culture in Romania, we are organizing, like the other countries, the IFLC program, the International Festival of Language and Culture. In this event, as you know, many students come together from different countries and put their cultures on the stage. And in Romania, in every year, when the students come from different countries, as a surprise for the host country, for example, the students from Kenya 2 years ago, they danced, they performed the Romanian dance, a Romanian folk dance. And students from other countries sang Romanian songs, as well as the Romanian students sing songs from the other countries. So this builds a bridge between nations. Maybe countries, they don't know Romania, or the students from Romania, maybe they didn't know the existence of some other countries in the participating countries. But by this event, by IFLC event, they try to understand each other, they try to understand their culture, and they build new friendships, new understanding, and so on. Here in Romania, we are also organizing an IT competition, a computer project competition, which is called Infometrics. But this is more than an IT contest, more than an IT competition, because here, the students from different countries, they come with their national costumes, traditional costumes. We organize a cultural event here, as well as their scientific presentations. So the students here, they meet each other, they interact with each other. When they leave crying, because they really build new friendships here, and they want to live together forever. And I think the future, I think the earlier speakers, as far as I remember from Albania, Mr. Erbas told that the youth is very important. Youth is the future, and they really contribute a lot to the dialogue and the understanding between the nations. Some other organizations also organized by our institutions in Romania. Also, our association, the Association for Dialogue and Universal Values, we organize events like conferences. We try to bring together the opinion leaders of Romania. And I want to show you some images here. Sorry, just a second. on our YouTube channel, we are trying to bring the opinion leaders of Romania and to discuss about intercultural dialogue. They are filmmakers, they are sportsmen, they are singers. So different people from the different parts of the society, we try to bring them together in YouTube channel program, and we talk about the intercultural dialogue because all these people have great experiences, and we want to benefit from their experiences to build peace in our societies. Also, our foundation, another foundation called Tuna Foundation, which is a charity foundation, they are organizing charity events. This year, they collected money and food for around 10,000 families in Romania on the Easter, on the occasion of Easter. So the people in need were very happy on their religious celebrations by this organization. And also, this organization, the Tuna Foundation, is raising funds for the refugees in Greece. They were the refugee, usually the Turkish refugee, which were persecuted in Turkey, unfortunately, by the regime in Turkey. They are mostly teachers, educators, lawyers, and so on. So our foundation is also trying to help, trying to build bridges between those people also. And also this year, our association, we made a magazine on the occasion of the 9th May, which is the Europe's Day. Our magazine is called Bulletin de Europa, the Europe's journal. Here we brought different figures, different public figures from Romania, journalists, lawyers, ministers. For example, she is the former Minister of Education, and the other opinion makers, the representative of the Amnesty International from Romania, and the rector from the one of the most important university in Romania, and the Europarlamenter Ramona Strugariu. So we want to bring the public important issues regarding the Europe and how to solve these problems. We don't want to talk only about the problems. We also try to find solutions to the problems of the society, and we are trying to contribute to the dialogue and understanding in our country. That's all what I want to present for this evening. Thank you for inviting us, and thank you for listening to me. If you have questions, I will be happy to hear them.
Thank you so much, Mr. Öz. I'm checking now for the questions, and the activities you have done are really inspiring. Now, we don't have any questions, but I believe that these activities, especially for the students in Romania, not only in Romania, but also in all over the world, will make a difference. I believe that. And I want to add something to Cultural Day. And as you said, after the problems in Turkey, thousands of people moved to different parts of the world. And I believe that this movement will contribute to the cultural diversity in the world. And these interactions will enable societies to get to know each other better and perhaps reduce problems and hostilities between societies. And we believe that the world will be better day by day with these organizations and activities. Thank you so much again, Mr. Öz. And now that's all for tonight. I want to thank all attendees, especially the 4 countries that contributing tonight. And now it's safe to go goodbye, and I wish you good luck in your activities, in your organizations. And I hope we can make another programs like this, and we can see new activities, we can witness new activities all around the world. And thank you so much. It's time to say goodbye, and I am checking one more time the questions, and I would like to thank all the attendees again. See you in other programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.